The Filipino turnout in Linz tonight was incredible. Turns out most of them actually call Austria home. They came from Vienna, Linz and Salzburg. Hearing that crowd roar for you, it's everything. See you tomorrow. Right? And since it's your Linz debut, how's the vibe treating you so far? Honestly, it's been phenomenal. I'm so touched by how they've embraced me and the entire Filipino community. We just click, there's such a strong presence here. I'm incredibly grateful for this warm welcome. I can't wait to dive deeper into the culture and keep bringing the heat on the court. The fans are definitely feeling it. Critics claimed clay wasn't her surface. They were dead wrong. 64-60-63, 1 hour and 42 minutes of pure dominance on the Austrian red dirt. Against a local legend with 369 clay wins in a stadium screaming for her blood, Eala didn't just play, she conquered. She stared down the tennis elite and dropped a truth bomb that's going to ripple through every locker room and sports network. I belong on the dirt. This is a warning shot to the entire industry. Drop everything, put your life on hold, crank the sound, kill your distractions. What went down at the Upper Austria Ladies Linz wasn't just a win, it's the earthquake the establishment has been terrified of for months. They tried to box her in as a hard-court specialist, deadly on speed, useless on dirt. She just blew that narrative to smithereens, leaving the wreckage all over the Linz clay for the world to witness. Let's pull back the curtain on this match. When you look past the raw data and see the psychological demolition, what Eala pulled off today wasn't just a victory, it was a clinical execution. It was absolute strangulation, the kind of masterclass that forces coaches to scrap their game plans and gives opponents nightmares. Let's highlight the most brutal stat of the entire afternoon. The figure that will keep Julia Grabher awake at night and strike fear into anyone facing Eala on the red dirt. Breakpoint saved 9 out of 10, 90%. Grabher, a 13-year veteran with 369 clay court wins, threw everything at her. She forced 10 chances against Eala's serve. 10. That's 10 distinct opportunities for the momentum to shift. 10 times the stadium roared, sensing a kill, tasting the comeback. Convinced their local favorite was finally cracking the code. 10 times the weight of Austria crushed down on her shoulders. The atmosphere was thick enough to suffocate, yet she denied 9 of them. 9 out of 10. She bolted the door shut with a lock made of pure tungsten. She dangled over the edge 9 times, and 9 times she hauled herself back up with nothing but grit. That's not just handling heat, that's a clinic in mental destruction. She took the moments meant to break her and used them as fuel. Imagine the mental toll on Grabher. You're the hometown favorite. The fans are electric. You know these courts better than your own backyard. You play the point perfectly. You run Eala ragged. You find the gap. You earn that break point. The stadium is shaking. Then Eala shuts you down. Again and again. A third, fourth, fifth time. She just won't break. By that 6th or 7th break point, the game has changed. You're sprinting headfirst into a solid stone wall. You keep waiting for it to crumble, but you're the one getting bruised. That is the crushing reality of a 90% breakpoint defense. It's like trying to crack a safe with a toothpick. It's psychological torture. It feels like you're sinking in quicksand while she just stands there, calmly fixing her strings. While Grabher wasted 10 chances and only converted 1, Eala moved with the lethal precision of a hitman. 3 breaks out of 7, 43%. She didn't need 10 looks. She only needed 7, and she made 3 of them count. That's the gap between the hunter and the hunted. Eala was the predator. She smelled weakness in Grabher's serve, struck with surgical timing, and executed at a level that commands respect. Let's break down the serving mechanics because her tactical brilliance here was levels above what most people noticed. Her first serve landed 60% of the time, 34 out of 50 first serves hitting the mark. On slow clay where returns are easier, that 60% accuracy is a power move. It screams, I'm not giving you an inch. No cheap points, no double faults. I'm making you fight for every scrap from a defensive position. When she landed that first serve, she won 68% of the points. This means Grabher, the veteran clay specialist who spent 10 years mastering this surface, was left guessing. Eala's first serve was an absolute buzzsaw, leaving her opponent with a miserable 30% win rate. That is 3 out of 10 on her own turf against a rival who hasn't played clay in 2026. But the real nightmare for the field, her second serve stats. She bagged 63% of those points. 63% in her first match on dirt this season is simply staggering. Usually the second serve on clay is when a player is most vulnerable. The ball hangs and the returner pounces, but Eala snatched nearly two-thirds of those rallies, turning a weakness into a weapon. She transformed a defensive liability into total dominance through superior placement and spin. Her elite tactical DNA forged at the Rafael Nadal Academy allowed her to dominate regardless of the surface. Compare those stats to Grabher's lackluster second serve performance, and the gap is massive. Grabher managed only 50% a total toss-up. Missing a first serve meant her survival was basically down to a coin flip. Against someone like Eala, that's a death sentence. Eala sniffed out those serves and attacked. She pressured every single rally, treating every second serve as a personal invitation to dominate. She accepted that invitation with clinical precision, winning the total point count 76-65. An 11-point margin over 2 sets is a massive canyon in professional tennis. It represents total control. Eala never let Grabher find the suffocating rhythm that makes her dangerous on clay. She was the conductor of this symphony, knowing exactly when to turn up the heat. 12 games to 7, she nearly doubled the score against an Austrian vet with 369 clay wins. This follows a brutal hardcourt stretch spanning from Auckland and Melbourne all the way to Miami. After 8 hardcourt events and 0 clay matches in 2026, she dominated Linz like she never left. That seamless transition between surfaces is the hallmark of a truly complete player. She's a universal threat whose game is built on high-level intelligence, not just surface preference. Remarkably, she did it with 0 aces. In the modern game, aces are often a desperate crutch. They are the escape hatch when pressure builds. Eala didn't need a single one. Every one of her 53 service points was a masterclass in rally construction and mental grit. She didn't blast her way out of trouble. She outmaneuvered her opponent like a grandmaster. She followed the Nadal playbook. The serve is just the first move in a 3-step chess trap. With 0 aces and a 90% breakpoint save rate, she proved that brains beat brawn on dirt. You need ice in your veins when the entire stadium is rooting for your downfall. Eala has that in spades, which should terrify everyone else in the bracket. If you thought today was dramatic, the next round will be absolute war. She faces Jelena Ostapenko, the 2017 French Open champ and world number 23, a powerhouse whose shots defy physics and hit lines with the precision of a guided missile. This is the woman who bulldozed Roland Garros at 20, leaving the entire sport in shock. But look at the head-to-head 2 matches, 2 victories for Eala. She survived the Latvian's best shots in Miami last year to win in straight sets. She repeated that dominance at Eastbourne, winning 2-0. Eala owns this rivalry, but they've never met on clay, which makes this showdown monumental. If she takes down Ostapenko here, the hardcourt specialist label is officially dead. That narrative won't just crack, it will completely evaporate into thin air. There will be no excuses left, just the reality that Alexandra Eala is a global threat. For now, let's just soak in the magnitude of today's performance. What happened today was historic and deserves to be recognized as such. A 20-year-old from the Philippines, molded in the heart of Mallorca, walked into hostile territory and dismantled a veteran Austrian on her home soil in record time, stonewalling 9 out of 10 break chances, winning 63% of second serves, 76 points to seal the deal, seizing 3 breaks while yielding only 1. Zero panic, pure calculated composure. She turned the stadium's roar into white noise, staying locked inside her tactical vault. You would never guess she'd been off the dirt for months. She looked like a natural-born clay specialist, carrying the hopes of 115 million Filipinos as high-octane fuel, not a heavy load. From Manila to Los Angeles to Tokyo, a massive wave of energy surged through every single screen. The Eala army hit the front lines. Comments exploded. Streams peaked. She felt every bit of it. She thrives on this heat. This is exactly what she's been training for since day one. Packed arenas, global spotlights, proving her worth on the grueling red clay of Linz. She delivered a masterclass for every believer, ignoring the lopsided statistics and the doubters. Even the tournament director Sandra Reichel was stunned, calling her performance absolutely phenomenal. A massive moment for the Philippines. Having a world-class talent like this is a game-changer. She backed up every bit of the hype with a performance that was both surgical and soul-stirring. Her clay record just ticked up to 15 and 21. The climb continues, closing the gap on the record books, tearing up the old narrative for good. The surface they said would break her is now the stage where she shines. Stuttgart, Madrid, Paris. This isn't just a schedule, it's a full-scale takeover of the clay season. Victory number 1 is in the bag. Eala Army, you have your orders full mobilization. Blast this footage across every platform you own right now. Immediate deployment. Show everyone that a 20-year-old from the Philippines can walk into Europe and dominate a 13-year veteran. I want the comment section flooded with your deep dive tactical breakdowns of this win. Break down that footwork, analyze that topspin adjustment. Tell me what you saw out there. How'd she hold her nerve through those 10 breakpoints, and what's the play against Ostapenko? Give me the blueprint to beat a former French Open champ. I want heat. I want analysis. Let's make the algorithm glitch with the sheer volume of Eala Army engagement today. They said the clay was a wall, she scaled it in 1 hour and 42 minutes flat. First clay match of 2026 straight-set victory against a veteran with over 300 wins. The hostile crowd tried to rattle her. Instead, she denied 9 of 10 break threats with a smile. To everyone who thought she'd stall out, you were dead wrong. 15 and 21 on the dirt. The numbers are rising. The revolution is here. Ostapenko is next. 1 down, more to go.